One day, a strong human man appears and attacks the demon kingdom's leader and kills him with his extraordinary power. The human people are very happy that the demon leader died and they got rid of his evil. Months later, a tournament is held in the demon kingdom to decide who will continue the leader's place. A girl named Vermilio appears and she is the manager of the tournament. A monster named Han appears and he is the deputy manager of the tournament, and he tells her the preliminary rounds are over and that there is a very strong person in the tournament named Hulk, probably stronger than their dead leader, and it seems he will be the new leader. Han shows her the contestants, and as soon as she sees Hulk, she is impressed by his strength and says this will help them eliminate humans, but he looks a bit strange. He tells her that he is actually human, so she gets very angry and tells him, how could you allow a human to participate in this tournament? They are our enemies, and surely the citizens will object. But she is shocked when she finds all the citizens cheering for him and very impressed by him. She tells him he must be deceiving us and doing this to eliminate all the strong warriors we have. Han tries to calm her down, but she insists on her opinion and that he must not continue in this tournament. Vermilio sits thinking how to get rid of him while his strength is far beyond them. Han suggests to her that they change the competition plan and make it so that whoever builds a house from paper cards first qualifies for the next match, and that he will give Hulk faulty paper so he cannot win. At the same time, Vermilio sends a girl to monitor Hulk's place and actions, but when she arrives there, she finds no one. Meanwhile, the tournament begins and the warriors enter to prepare for the competition. The competition starts, but Hulk cannot build the house because the paper he has is faulty, and everyone expects him to lose. Vermilio is very happy he will lose, but at the same time upset that the one who will be the demon leader will be weaker than him. But suddenly, Hulk with his extraordinary speed can build the house in seconds. Everyone is surprised by what he did, and the contestants object and say this is cheating. But one of them defends Hulk. The rest of the contestants do not like his words and start attacking each other. Vermilio gets angry because of the chaos that happened and says surely Hulk intended this to eliminate all the contestants. Meanwhile, Esta, who was sent to monitor Hulk's place, communicates with her twin sister Asta in the Demon Kingdom through telepathy, and this is a special ability between them. She informs her she found nothing in the place, and at the same time Han tries to calm Vermilio and tells her I prepared another trap. It will be a sculpture contest, and I made sure Hulk will get a faulty knife so he cannot do anything with it. But surprisingly, he wins the contest and all the judges give him the highest score. Han tells her the last thing I prepared is a cooking contest, so she asks him to put her among the judges so she can give him the lowest score. The competition starts and Hulk prepares the food and presents it to the judges, but Vermilio when she tastes the food cannot lie and gives him the highest score. Esta goes to Vermilio in the administration headquarters to inform her of the news, and tells her that her sister Asta found nothing in the place, but she has other news that Hulk is a very dangerous criminal and wanted among humans, and whoever kills him will get a big reward. This is because he killed his brother, the hero who killed the demon leader. Vermilio is surprised that the one who killed the leader was not Hulk, and Han suddenly enters and tells them there is a disaster. Orem Castle collapsed, and the castle leader sacrificed himself and died so the rest of the citizens could live. He tells her this attack was from winged knights stronger than humans. Vermilio orders Han to prepare the guards and make a barrier around the city before they attack them too. Vermilio and Han are thinking how they will get rid of Hulk. Han tells her that the next competition is a horse race and Hulk will have the weakest horse. He will not be able to win. The contestants enter and all the audience cheer for Hulk. The race starts and everyone sets off except Hulk, who does not move. At the same time, Vermilio gets angry at Han for giving Hulk a very weak horse. This will show that it is cheating. But despite Hulk's horse not moving, he is optimistic and greets the audience. He gets off the horse and talks to it, then rides again and moves it to the race. At the same time, Han has prepared more than one trap on the racetrack so Hulk cannot continue, but the rest of the contestants fall into these traps. Vermilio is surprised when she sees Hulk did not give up and return to the racetrack again, and he continues running with his extraordinary speed on foot. She asks Han to expel him from the race because this is considered cheating, but he replies this is normal and if we expel him the citizens will be very upset. Hulk passes all the obstacles Han prepared very easily. Vermilio asks Han to destroy the bridge so Hulk cannot cross and thus lose the race, but Hulk jumps with his extraordinary strength and crosses to the other side very easily. The rest of the contestants are amazed to see Hulk reach so fast, and he surpasses them all and takes first place. Meanwhile, Esta enters to Vermilio and informs her that the soldier they sent to monitor the castle found about 100 of them but could not determine if they are humans or not, but there is no intention to attack the kingdom. Han is surprised and says how can winged knights defeat us, and if they are not humans what will they be? Vermilio tells him we must eliminate them but after we finish with Hulk first. A person named Azudra enters and apologizes to Vermilio for the troubles he caused her after she took the position instead of him. He suggests to her that the final round of the competition be that the person who defeats the enemy leader and returns the castle will be our leader. Vermilio refuses, but Azudra tells her we cannot fight Hulk and his existence is dangerous to us and this is the only solution to get rid of him. She asks him what will we do if Hulk betrays us during the battle. He replies, I prepared and made a ring that all the warriors will wear. They will not be harmed if he attacks them. Vermilio agrees to his words and tells him, but if he betrays us then I will sacrifice myself to kill him and protect all the contestants. After 5 days the contestants prepare and wear the ring. They inform them that this time the competition is to reclaim the castle from the enemies. One of the contestants is happy to know that finally the competition will be about fighting, and most of them are worried about the confrontation. Vermilio enters disguised as another character and tells them she is from the administration and she will protect them. One of the contestants says she is very strong, I saw her before. Hulk replies that's the judge who was in the cooking contest. At the same time, Asta the spy is amazed by the human world and their way of living. The contestants arrive at the tunnel that will lead them to the castle, and insect-shaped monsters appear to attack them, but their numbers keep increasing every moment in larger amounts. Dorsch tells them I can make a barrier to protect us from them, and he pulls out chocolate to eat, so everyone is surprised. Vermilio gets angry at him and asks how long do you need to make this barrier? He replies I need about half an hour, so she gets angrier and releases fire to burn all the insects. Afterwards they sit to rest from the journey, and they are all tired except Hulk who shows no sign of fatigue. Vermilio understands then how he was able to cross all that distance to the demon kingdom without getting tired or giving up, and that is because of his unbelievable endurance. Hulk gets up and prepares food for them. At the same time the contestants talk with each other, and Hyura tells Kinros that the helper from the administration is Vermilio, one of the 4 leaders but disguised. But when Kinros hears this he is not surprised and tells her it is very clear she is here with us to watch Hulk. Vermilio enters and tells them you got it wrong, I am from the administration normally, and no one should call me a leader and treat me normally, especially in front of Hulk. They gather to eat, but Vermilio does not like the food Hulk made but is forced to eat so he does not suspect her. The twin sister Asta informs Azudra that Vermilio and the contestants moved through an underground tunnel because of the storms, so he tells her there is no fear or worry as long as Vermilio is with them. She replies I am afraid something will happen to Vermilio, what do you think we send extra troops to help them? He tells her I understand you, but Vermilio knows how to handle things well and uses her power when she is with fewer people, and there is a chance the winged knights will attack us here anytime so we cannot spare our forces. And Vermilio is very strong, maybe her strength equals all of ours. On the other side the contestants move from the resting place and encounter poisonous and giant monsters, but they can overcome them. Suddenly a very huge monster appears, so Hulk moves towards it with full courage, jumps and with one kick kills it easily. Vermilio burns the corpses of the killed monsters and they keep moving forward. The contestants tell Hulk they are impressed by what he did, and Hyura after what she saw becomes worried and doubts she can win in the finals after seeing Hulk's extraordinary power. They reach the castle and the soldier they sent is waiting to let them in from a secret hideout. It is a huge rock on which he says an incantation and it opens a path for them. Before they enter, Vermilio stops and tells them the first one to defeat their leader will be the winner of the tournament and will be the true demon leader. But do not overexert yourselves, and if you find it beyond your abilities run away immediately and I will handle it. At the same time Vermilio remembers her talk with Azudra and asks him did you get these wounds in your battle with Hulk? He replies no, I got them when I fell into one of the traps I made and forgot its place, and the building fell on me, and when I woke up I found myself on a bed. But despite all that, if Hulk had not used a tiny part of his power I would have died. And after that happened Azudra trusts Hulk. They arrive at the castle and the winged knights discover their presence and that they are spying on them. Hyura moves immediately towards their leader to kill him, and Kinros and Dorsch move right after her. But as soon as Hyura attacks the leader he cuts off her arm and she falls to the ground. Kinros attacks one of the knights and Dorsch stands to block them and tells them no one will be able to defeat me. The first one who attacks him he throws and breaks the wall with him. They try to attack to save Hyura and Dorsch asks Vermilio to help them. Hulk moves quickly towards the knight who will kill Hyura and calls out to him and clearly knows him. The knight stops and looks at Hulk and asks how did you recognize me? Hulk replies I have seen you for many years fighting with your sword, so I recognized you from just a glance. He replies I did not expect to meet you here. Kinros is surprised when he sees the knight's form and says I expected he would look completely different. Hulk asks the knight how did you become like this? He replies I had many surgeries to reach this, and Vermilio is shocked to find all the winged knights are humans. She says they must have used an incantation to turn into this. The knight says to Hulk but I am happy I had these surgeries because they gave me extraordinary power to fight demons, And every battle I win increases my power, and I thought my power would never increase again, but now my power grows much more than before. He tells them more knights will come now and our goal is to fight demons and eliminate them. Vermilio says to herself, I hope not all humans have power like this, but if they are all at this level I can fight them fine. The knight tells Hulk to decide and see on which side he will fight, and this will be a fateful decision. He tells them if Hulk joins us we will have no problems and we are like you and we were born heroes. Vermilio is shocked by his words and wonders how heroes, though the first hero was born a very long time ago and there are only 2 heroes now, Hulk and his brother, and that alone is a miracle. She thinks about his words that maybe he means when their power grows they become as strong as heroes, and then they will attack the kingdom and destroy it. A large number of knights attack them, but suddenly Hayura gets up and cuts the knight's wing and he is surprised she rose again though he cut her arm. She tells him arms regenerate fast, and this is because regeneration is a known trait of the Ahult tribe, which includes demons who can heal from wounds quickly. Vermilio helps them with her power and kills many knights, and Hayura attacks the knight to kill him, but Hulk stops her and tells them killing the winged knights is not the best solution. Suddenly one of the winged knights kills that knight. They are surprised how they killed their own and gave him up. Before the knight dies he tells Hulk about the plan they were going to execute, and Hulk orders them to escape quickly, but they cannot make it and the ground they stand on collapses. They all fall to a place underground except Hulk. They find a magic gate and Vermilio tells them the winged knights created this gate using a certain incantation. Hayura deduces this gate is the path the knight was telling Hulk about before he died. The gate starts working and pulls everything in front of it, and apparently the incantation failed and the gate went out of control. Dorsch builds a blocking barrier to protect them from the gate and asks them to stay calm so he can keep his focus. He tells them the gate's power is stronger than his barrier and that means the barrier will not hold long. Vermilio tries to stop the gate but she cannot and must get closer to stop it. She tells them the gate works by the magic stone beneath it and if she destroys it the gate will close and disappear. Vermilio moves toward the gate to destroy the magic stone, but Vermilio cannot endure the gate's power and it pulls her in. At the same time Hulk has reached them and runs fast to catch Vermilio, but the gate pulls them both in and the gate disappears afterwards. Vermilio wakes up to find herself on an island by the sea surrounded by many palm trees. On the other side, Asta informs Azudra that a gate pulled Vermilio, and at the same time Vermilio stands exploring the island and is amazed by the beauty of the sea, and she says to herself that she wants to return to the kingdom as fast as possible, but at the same time I am happy the gate sent me to a beautiful land like this with no poisons. And Vermilio hears a sound coming from far away, so she goes to investigate that sound, and when she gets closer she finds it is Hulk and he is building a big house, and she cannot believe he built this whole house by himself, and she asks him, why did you build this house? And he replies, surely sleeping in a house is better than on the ground, especially since the sky might rain at any time. She asks him, are you not planning to return to the homeland again, and will this be your new place? And he replies, no, but I do not think we can return now, so I built this house. And he tells her this is an isolated island in the sea, which means to return we must have a boat. And they enter the house after the sky starts raining, and he tells her the place is full of trees he can use to build a boat and return to the demon world again. And on the other side Azudra is thinking about what happened after he warned them that those winged knights are humans, and he says to himself it is surely not natural that their power increases this fast, and this is the first time he has heard about such an incantation, and he orders Han to send a special group to search for Vermilio, but Han tells him they have sent most of their forces to guard the borders or to kill monsters and they might attack the human knights at any time, so it is hard to send a special group to search for Vermilio now, and we do not know how many years the search might take. Azudra replies, we can locate her easily by using a location determining incantation, and this is a spell we use when the person is in an unknown place, and we will be able to find her soon. And Han replies, but you need some material thing belonging to the person you are looking for the incantation to work, and Asta tells them she has a small lock of Vermilio's hair, and Azudra begins performing the incantation and puts her hair in a wooden statue on the map, but the statue moves until it stops outside the map, and that means Vermilio is in a place beyond the map's borders. On the other side, Vermilio sits on the island trying to catch fish so they can eat, and she is still thinking about what happened and is uncertain whether Hulk is with them or not after he helped the winged knight and prevented Hayura from killing him, but at the same time she is surprised that if he is not on their side, why has he not killed her until now? And Vermilio catches a fish, but it escapes from her, and Hulk comes to help her and jumps into the water to bring her the fish, and Vermilio wakes up the next day to find herself wearing comfortable clothes different from what she had, but she does not know where these clothes came from, and suddenly there is a knock at the door, and when Vermilio opens she finds a person bringing her breakfast, but she looks and finds that half the food is eaten, and he tells her, I could not control myself and I was hungry, so I ate some and left you a bit. She replies, it is not important, I did not ask for breakfast anyway, you can take the rest, and he takes the food from her and thanks her and tells her, I will go back to my house, and she asks him who made this food, and he replies, the village chief is the one who asked me to deliver it to you, and Vermilio asks him to show her the place of this village, and he takes her to show her the village and points to his house. And she asks him, are there any other villages here? And he replies, no, we are the only inhabitants on the island here, and everyone in the village is startled the moment they see her, and one of them comes to guide her to Helk. And Vermilio goes to the place where Helk is and finds him sitting cutting trees with his hand, and he tells her, do not worry, I will start building the boat, we are still on the second day. And Vermilio stands watching the sea, and apparently there was a city submerged under the sea long ago. And Helk surprises her by finishing the boat very quickly, but suddenly a strange-looking person comes in and asks them, who are you and what are you doing on the island here? They tell them this person says, come after me, and they actually walk behind him. And on the way Vermilio tells Helk, surely this person is the village chief, and he seems to have a strong personality and different from the rest of the people here on the island. And they find themselves surrounded from every side by many people. And this person tells them, do you think we will welcome strangers here in the village? And suddenly all these people remove the clothes they are hiding in, and the chief tells them, I was deceiving you, of course we will welcome your presence here. And he orders the rest of the people to prepare food for them. And Helk and Vermilio stand surprised by what is happening and do not give any reaction. And Helk already knew all these preparations from the start, so he is not surprised. And Vermilio gets very angry at him when she finds out that he knew. And Vermilio thanks them for the surprise and the food they prepared and also the clothes they gave her to sleep in. He replies, if you want to thank someone it will be the big man, because he helped us a lot and said he was the reason for what happened to you and he was always thinking about you. And the chief asks Vermilio, have you finished building the boat? And she tells him, yes, it is almost done. And he tells her, surely now you want to know the way that will lead you to the continent. And she replies, do you also not know the way? And he tells her, no, I never thought about leaving this island before, but rest assured the great witch will descend from the top of the mountain soon, and she has vast knowledge, and she is the one who will tell you how to return. She then asks him if they can go meet her themselves, and he tells her that is impossible because there were people visiting her and they hindered her research, so she made a magic barrier, anyone who crosses it dies. And Vermilio and Helk return to the house and she asks him, why do they love fish this much? They want to fish tomorrow and the day after. And he tells her, you can refuse normally if this bothers you. And she tells him, no, I cannot refuse, I will feel that I am upset then, especially after they welcomed me. And Helk tells her, the people of this village are similar to the people in the demon kingdom, and I never imagined before that there are people outside the human kingdom who are this kind-hearted, and this is proof that I should not judge a person before I know him. And she tells him, not necessarily, maybe you met one kind person but the rest are not all like this. And she tells him, I did not mean to discourage you, I meant to say that evil ones exist in the world normally. And she asks him, why did you save me when the gate was pulling me? And he replies, because we are friends and you welcomed a human like me with a good reception just like the island people did with us. And that surprised me, I was surely thinking the demons would reject me, but what happened was the opposite. And he tells her, I was alone because all my human friends turned against me. And she asks him, the person you called from the winged knights was your friend? And he replies, yes, he was my dearest friend and he considered me his older brother, and we worked together on monster hunting missions and we were together everywhere. And he tells her that after those surgeries they are no longer humans at all, and on the other side the rest of the contestants are still trapped in their place waiting for someone to save them. And suddenly they find winged knights in front of them, and they ask the contestants to tell them where the demon leader is so they can eliminate him. And they attack them, but the number of winged knights is very large, and the commander of the winged knights orders that they not be killed until they say the leader's location. And Azudra is with them but disguised so no one recognizes him, and he asks the winged knights to return to their country again instead of being killed, but they are not convinced by his words and they tell him, you are deceiving us and we came to fight you by order of the human king. And Azudra makes tree branches rise from the ground to bind the winged knights easily. The contestants and Asta are amazed by Azudra's power, and Han tells them this is because of his special ability and that he can control all the trees around. Despite this strength, he claims he is the weakest among the four leaders. Azudra tells the winged knights that the castle you occupied represents only a very small part of the empire, and their commander replies in surprise, could there really be demons stronger than this, referring to Azudra. He says, despite our power it is hard for us to defeat them. Azudra tells them he does not want to kill them and it is better for them to surrender. Suddenly arrows are thrown at them from everywhere in huge amounts by other forces of winged knights, but the targets are the knights Azudra tied. Hyura tells them this happened before when we killed their commander, they killed him, and their commander says to Azudra, I will not deny that demons are strong, but even the strongest of your kingdoms will collapse before the pressure of our endless attacks. And maybe demons are stronger than us, but the day will come when we will be much stronger. Their commander draws his sword and kills himself, and all the bodies of the knights disappear, and they do not die but appear in another place where the human king is. Asta's twin sister discovers this place by accident during her spying journey, and she informs Asta, her twin sister, in the demon kingdom about what she saw. Han is shocked when he learns they do not die but return to another place, and Azudra tries to calm him so they can see how to handle this situation. Azudra's assistant begins showing a list of the problems they face now, and Azudra Azudra says the priority is to start arranging to get rid of our problems, but I want to finish the matter of the humans attacking us first. The assistant shows them the areas in danger now because of the appearance of the winged knights, and Azudra replies the humans level is the weakest among all classes, but if all humans turn into winged knights this will be a great threat to us. And he asks Hyura about their combat level since she is the only one who clashed with them in the attack. She tells him their level is weaker than the demons, and Azudra says humans the more their power increases the greater the danger will be on us. And then we will not be able to face them and that will be our end. And that is why I have a proposal that we try to stop their ability to return to life again. And for that we must eliminate the owner of the magic incantation, who is the human king. They are surprised and ask him how if we do that we can eliminate them. And he replies I once fought a hero who did not die and it was strange so I researched it. And in the end I discovered it is magic because of the king. And the king's magic is almost like the contracts we make and similar to the magic I use but stronger. Asta asks him how can the king being just an ordinary human use such strong magic. And he replies I think their king is from another type of humans. He tells them the most important thing now is that we defend ourselves well. So Asta tells him while I was spying on them I learned that they will attack us again. And the most important thing is that we defend ourselves and take back Thor Castle. And after we strengthen the defense and be ready then I will send a group of the best warriors to eliminate the human king. The soldiers start preparations to defend themselves. And Asta's twin sister is worried about her sister from the danger of the winged knights if they discover her. But Hyura reassures her and says I trained her well and she will know how to handle it. On the other side Azudra and Han go down to the place of the gate that pulled Vermilio and Helk, and he makes a new small gate to send a message to Vermilio, and this message is found by Baiwi who is one of the island villagers. And at the same time Helk is preparing the food so he and Vermilio can eat and the fire is almost out. And Baiwi comes to help them and adds wood to the fire. And he throws the message Azudra sent with the wood. Vermilio is thinking about what she said to Helk and realizes she wronged him a lot. But at the same time she is surprised how he turned against his friends like that. One of the island people comes and tells Vermilio that the great witch came down from the mountain. So she tells him she will go to the village and he should tell Helk that she left. She goes to the village and finds the witch already left. And she asks the village chief where did she go. And he replies she left because you were late for her. And she is surprised and tells him how I came very fast. And Helk comes in and Vermilio apologizes to him and tells him I could not catch her, I guess I did not run fast enough. But the person who delivered the news says I am sorry, I felt tired while coming to tell you the news so I slept a bit and then came to you. But the village chief tells her do not worry, I told the great witch about you and she is waiting to meet you and she removed her barrier so you can visit her at any time. And Vermilio is very happy and tells Helk let's go to catch her. And the chief asks Baiwi to guide them so they know the way. And Helk asks on the way is this place far from the village. And on the way Vermilio is surprised that despite all Azudra's magical abilities until now he could not do anything for her. And they arrive at the house of the great witch which looks scary. And the great witch meets them and apologizes to them for being late. And she tells them the chief spoke to her about them and that they want to know the direction that leads to the continent. She tells them she will help them know the way because they helped the villagers. And the witch tells them about the way but warns them that they must have a ship strong enough to handle storms and with all the supplies they might need. And she tells them there is no problem if you ask for help from the villagers, but your bigger problem is catching the coral horses. And she tells them this is a strange creature that has the habit of moving between this island and the continent, and you will face many difficulties on the way and might go the wrong direction because of weather factors. And this is the benefit of the coral horse, once you throw it into the sea it will swim toward the continent, but its presence is rare in this area. Helk asks her what does this creature look like, and she replies wait a moment I will get you a book about it. And as soon as they see its shape Vermilio remembers she saw it before when Helk caught one like it, but they did not know it was this important. And Helk tells her he saw another one this morning and maybe it is still in the same place. And Helk goes to look for another one. And the witch tells Vermilio it is better that you rest today, I have not hosted anyone in a long time. And she asks her who are you and how did you know the continent's location. She replies do not ask for many details and focus on your biggest problem now, which is Helk because he is much more dangerous than you imagine. Helk prepares everything in the ship and catches the horses. And before they leave the witch gives them a magic box to use in necessity that will help them, and they depart and say goodbye to the island people. And Helk tells Vermilio this witch looks a bit like you, and she replies yes I feel she is from the kingdom's people. And suddenly Vermilio finds Baiwi coming out of a box on the ship with a message for her. And she reads it and finds the witch telling her to let Baiwi join them in the journey because he will help you a lot. Suddenly a sea monster appears attacking the ship, but quickly they use the magic box and it saves them. And Vermilio asks Helk to return them to the island so Baiwi can go back. But he tells her we traveled a long distance, let him stay with us. And night comes and they find a lot of fog. So they decide to throw the horse into the water to show them the right path. And a new day comes and there are strong storms and the sea has a whirlpool pulling the ship hard, and at the same time a monster appears attacking the ship. Helk attacks the monster and tells Vermilio to escape, but she refuses and tells him even if you defeat it you will fall into the sea whirlpool. He tells her do not worry, the important thing is you use this and escape. Hulk tries to get rid of the monster but it is not affected by his strikes. The monster attacks Hulk and drags him down into the water. Vermilio escapes with the ship and thinks Hulk is dead. She reaches the continent while sad that Hulk is not with her, but as soon as she gets off the ship she finds Hulk waiting for her. She gets angry at him and tells him why did you come to the continent and not return to the ship, and he tells her what happened to him and that the whirlpool dragged him until he reached here. As soon as they move, they find a group of guards surrounding them and ordering them to come with them. While walking, the guards tell them the kingdom here used to be much better, and it is not their habit to arrest anyone, but now they are occupied by the Tothman tribe, and they order them to look for people to work for them as slaves, and if they do not do that they kill their friends. But as soon as their princess sees them she strikes the guards and orders them to release them and let them go. But suddenly they find the Tothman tribe coming at them with their leader, and the princess tells them to disappear from here quickly because if he sees them it will be a big problem. He enters with his army into the kingdom and hits their princess and tells her I am looking for other kingdoms to occupy and I will use your soldiers in this conquest. She tells him but that was not our agreement, you said you would spare us if we declared surrender, and he replies I am at my agreement but that is if you defeat the people we will fight then I will let you live. She tells him but that is impossible, my people cannot do that because they do not have the strength to do it, and he says these are my orders and if you do not do that I will kill you all now. Suddenly Hulk intervenes and stands in front of the Tothman leader, and Vermilio helps him with her magic and tells Hulk to finish them. Hulk wipes out all the soldiers easily and their Tothman leader attacks him, then moves toward Vermilio and tells her tell me where your place and your kingdom are and I will destroy it and let you live. She tells him I agree but that is if you defeat Hulk first, and the Tothman leader is surprised by her words because he thought he killed Hulk already, but when he looks behind he finds Hulk still there. Hulk tells him you will not be able to defeat me with these strikes, and the leader attacks with many consecutive blows but Hulk is not affected, and Hulk with one punch throws him to the ground. Hulk threatens him to leave here and free the kingdom he occupied and never come here again, but the Tothman king gets up and does not surrender and transforms into a huge monster and hits Hulk, but Hulk blocks his strike. Then he hits the ground with a very strong strike that throws Hulk far away, and Vermilio tries to help Hulk with her magic and cuts off the leader's arm, but he is not affected and can regenerate his arm again, and she is surprised that he has the ability to regenerate. But Hulk attacks him and with one strike finishes him and kills him. Vermilio says he probably gained this regeneration power after he turned into a monster and that he consumed the rest of his life energy to become a monster, and although he was not strong enough I felt a strange feeling when he turned into a monster. The soldiers of the leader come to thank Hulk for finishing him, and the curse of the king ends on the occupied country and the people return to their original forms and thank Hulk and Vermilio for helping them, and they tell them this means we will be able to live safely after this. The people start cheering their names and thanking them. Hulk and Vermilio continue their journey. They meet a man on the road who tells them there is a war between two kingdoms next to each other and it ended with the destruction of both kingdoms. Vermilio is shocked and asks him are you sure of this news, and he says I do not know, maybe you can go to a nearby village and its people will inform you better. They reach the village and find a man selling maps, and they go ask him do you have a map of the Demon Empire, and he replies of course I have one. Vermilio is amazed that he has one, and she asks him to bring it but he refuses to show it for free, and he asks them for 50,000 to give them the map after he noticed they are strange people and that is a huge number. Hulk and Vermilio sell the crystals they took from the princess after freeing her kingdom but they only gather half the amount. They sit thinking how to collect the rest of the money and they find an announcement about a cooking contest where the winner will get 30,000, and Hulk quickly goes to register in the contest. A man named Ajikaba registers in the same contest and everyone is shocked when they know he will join because he won many contests he participated in. The contest starts and the contestants have only 1 hour to prepare their dish, and Vermilio begins helping Hulk with some things, and Hulk cuts vegetables very fast and everyone is amazed by his skills. One of the contestants tries to make pizza because he is good at it, and Ajikaba starts getting angry at them and prepares his dish. The audience is impressed by their skills and at the same time feels sorry for the beginners who joined the contest. Vermilio tastes the food Hulk makes and is amazed by it so much that the audience is surprised by her reaction, and the other contestants are shocked when they see Hulk's level is high, and Ajikaba becomes more excited after all the audience admired Hulk and he takes it as a challenge. On the other side Baiwi is sitting next to a girl who is singing, and when she finishes he tells her the song is very beautiful, and she asks him are you here alone, and he replies no, I was looking for popular food to help Hulk but I got lost, and she asks him where do you want to go, I can tell you the way. On the other side the contest ends and it is time for judging, and each contestant is convinced he will win, and Vermilio is a bit worried when she sees all the contestants optimistic that they will win. It is time to announce the results, and the surprise is that Hulk and Vermilio are the winners of the contest, and Hulk goes to comfort Ajikaba and tells him your food is delicious and I hope hope to taste it again one day, and Ajikaba replies surely you will taste it one day and then I will defeat you, and he gives Helk his recipe books as a gift. They take the money they collected and give it to the man and buy the map from him, and he warns her about the road she will take, and she asks him why, and the girl who was singing replies because of the Dark Warrior. She tells them this is a soldier moving in the area where the two kingdoms exist and whoever meets him he kills, and it is better that you take the longer road to reach safely and keep your lives. Helk tells her the problem is that the longer road will take a lot, and Vermilio thanks them for their warnings, and tells them but we do not have time to take that road. The map man tells her do not risk your life, and she replies do not worry we fight well, and she thanks him for the map and bids them farewell. They reach the area of the destroyed kingdoms, and Helk tells her it looks like we have crossed a very long distance, and Vermilio tells him it is clear in front of us that the war was very violent. Suddenly Vermilio feels a strong tremble in her body, and the Dark Warrior they were warned about appears to them, and Vermilio tells them we must escape quickly from this place. The Dark Warrior very quickly catches up to Vermilio, but Helk catches up to them fast and strikes him, and he asks Vermilio to take Baiwi and run, and he will try to kill him because it is hard for all of them to escape from him, and she tells him I will put Baiwi in a safe place and come back to help you. The Dark Warrior attacks Helk and wounds him, but Helk attacks him again and breaks his sword, but the sword regenerates and returns as it was. Vermilio quickly returns to Helk to help him, and she delivers a very strong strike to the Dark Warrior, but he is not affected by it, and Vermilio is surprised and tells herself that the strongest creature if it took this strike would have died. Helk attacks him again with a very strong blow, but he gets up quickly and attacks Helk and wounds him with the sword, and Helk strikes him again, but he is not affected by any blows and attacks him with his extraordinary speed. Suddenly Helk becomes stronger than before and delivers consecutive strikes to the Dark Warrior, and Vermilio then remembers the Great Witch's words to her when she told her that Helk now has no problems, but he is much stronger than this. At the same time Baiwi is singing a song, and afterward the Dark Warrior stops fighting, and Vermilio is surprised, so Baiwi tells her the girl told him when he is in trouble to sing this song. The Dark Warrior heads to his castle, but he no longer has the ability to regenerate and his arm is cut off, so they follow him and enter his castle. As soon as they enter he speaks and tells them what led him to this, and he tells them that everyone wanted to live in peace and all rejected the idea of war, and people started attacking each other, and afterward no one could resist and the situation went out of control, and the knights who used the curse to increase their power lost their minds and began to turn into monsters, and that was the reason for a curse that ended the war between the two kingdoms, but in return it destroyed everything, and those not affected by the curse tried to resist and escape, but they could not do anything before the Dark Warrior's power, and I tried to use this power to protect my people and the ones I love, but I failed. He looks at Helk and tells him but thanks to you I returned to my senses, and he thanks him, and he gives Helk his sword and asks him to use it, it will help him a lot, and the Dark Warrior disappears after the curse ends, and before he disappears he asks them to sing the song that Baiwi was singing. Baiwi begins to sing it, but the singing girl enters and sings it and tells them my curiosity made me follow you, but as soon as she sees the Dark Warrior she runs to him and hugs him, and it turns out he is her brother, and the Dark Warrior is surprised and asks her how are you still alive. She replies I do not know, but you saved my life, and she tells him the curse of darkness made you lose consciousness, but you saved me, and not only me you saved many others, and he tells her he is happy she is still alive, and Helk tells them let's go. On the other side the Winged Knights attack Orem Castle again, but the demon forces can defend well and defeat them, and afterward the special forces led by Azudra can take back Thor Castle, and they send extra soldiers to the castle to face any human attack, but the Winged Knights return to life again, and they continue their assaults on the castles because they were not afraid of death, but the demon warriors can face them again. At the same time Han informs Azudra that they managed to repel the Winged Knights attacks and took 5 of them as captives, and that is despite them trying hard to prevent us from capturing them alive, and Asta enters and tells him that the level of the Winged Knights rose to 30 and their commander Idol rose to 36, and this is the second time his level increases, and Han says that to increase one level needs a lot of training, but they managed to do that by entering many battles. Azudra says we must increase our army's strength or we will suffer many losses, and we must hasten to implement our plan, and Asta says she measured the level of their warriors, and found Hyura's level reached 52, and the first soldier Rubairo reached 44, and the soldier Lielbos reached 46. And he tells her it is good that their levels improved, and surely that is because of their participation in the Demon Leaders tournament. Azudra's assistant enters while he is preparing his magic, and tells him you must not exhaust yourself every day with magic while your health is not good, and he tells her no, I am fine and will start using search magic on different days, but Han tells him you are lying and use it every day, and he begins his magic and the wooden piece moves on the map, but this time it stops in a place inside the map, and Azudra is very happy when he finds Vermilio is in a place on the map. On the other side one of the Winged Knights quarrels with Commander Idol and tells him he could not defeat Hyura, and every time she is the one who defeats him. An idol is about to attack him, but one of the winged knights intervenes and tells them it is normal to be defeated by the demons because they are stronger than us, and the main goal now is not that we defeat them. At the same time, Asta's twin sister is spying on them and learns that their goal now is to improve their combat level and not victory, and suddenly one of the knights notices Asta's presence and flies toward the place where she is, but she hides quickly before he finds her. At the same time, Han tells Azudra that he assembled a search team of 3 men as he asked him, and asks him, "Are you sure you do not want to send more people with them?" And he replies, "No, those are enough now, and if Vermilio changes her path at any moment then we will have to send another search team." Vermilio is moving in our direction, and that means she knows the Empire's location, and Asta asks if Helk is still with her, and if he turns out to be our enemy that means the Empire will be in great danger. Azudra replies, "Then the Empire's future will be very bad, because Helk is the strongest threat I have seen until now, but I think Vermilio monitored him a lot throughout their journey, and since she decided to travel with him then I do not think he is our enemy." And Han tells him that means either Helk will be a strong ally for us or he will not exist at all. And Azudra's assistant tells him, "I hope he will be our ally, we will not find anyone stronger than him." And Han says Azudra was confident Helk would be our ally, and he replies, "I said before that Helk has extraordinary powers and that makes him a threat to the Empire, but I could not trust him from the first meeting." On the other side, Helk and Vermilio continue their path and face a monster, but Vermilio can eliminate it easily, and Helk tells her the sun is about to rise so it is better we find a place to spend the night until morning, and he shows her his short sword and tells her it is broken and it was long in the past, and it used to be called the Hero Slayer, and this is what remained of it after it broke. And he tells her this weapon can harm any hero, but the sword lost its magic, and despite that it can eliminate any hero, and he gives it to her and tells her, "I want you to keep it," and he tells her, "You can use it to kill me even." She admits to him that she was worried about him at first and thought he was a spy the humans sent, but she no longer feels that and is confident that you are not against us, and during our journey together I was able to know you and your personality. And she tells him she does not want his weapon and apologizes that she was watching him all this time, but Helk insists that she take the sword, and he tells her, "I will tell you the story of the heroes and afterward I will ask you for a request to carry out." Helk starts telling Vermilio about his life story with his brother when they were little, and he tells her they were living in a simple village with their father and mother, and suddenly monsters appeared in their village and killed their father and mother, but he and his brother survived, and we decided to go to the royal capital, and we thought it was the most suitable place we could live in and find work because we were children, but we discovered that life in the capital was very different from the village, and the capital was suffering from economic crises and the poor were treated in the worst way by the rich, but we continued living in the capital despite all that, and we were living in the poor neighborhoods, and it was a bad place but better than being somewhere terrified of monster attacks. And every day we were beaten by the rich kids, but to protect Cleese my brother I endured the beating in his place. And from that time I promised myself to protect Cleese no matter the cost. And he tells Vermilio he had an extraordinary ability to heal himself since he was a child, so Vermilio is surprised and tells him, "You mean you could do that when you were just a child?" And he tells her, "Yes, but I thought back then I could just endure the pain for others, nothing more, and I kept thinking a lot when this happened and I got this ability but I remember nothing." And he tells her the rich kids kept bothering us more to the point that they sometimes threw our food into the river and burned the place where we lived, and from how much they harassed me I thought they would kill me, and on many days they stole my little earnings that I was bringing from my work. Despite all that I did not leave the capital, and that was because at that time monsters' numbers were huge outside the capital, and I told Cleese once the number of monsters decreases we will leave the capital and travel to another better place, but unfortunately something bad happened and Cleese my brother got sick, and a man hosted us in his house and told me Cleese is weak because of malnutrition and he will not withstand this disease and will die, but I had saved some money and took Cleese and ran, knocking on all houses and no one wanted to help me, and some accused me that I stole the money I had, and suddenly Cleese lost consciousness and I ran like crazy, and asked anyone I met to help me, but no one offered me anything and they beat me, and a little girl named Shalami from a rich family asked me what I needed and I told her and she left me and went, but she returned with her father and he took Cleese to the doctor to treat him, and indeed he managed to save Cleese, and if we had been late a little he would have died, and although the one who saved us was a member of a rich family while we were treated the worst by the rich, from the moment we met him our lives changed. And after Cleese recovered Shalami came to visit us again and we became friends, and she treated us just like she treated the rest without discrimination. And Cleese since he was little decided to become a soldier in the army, and from that time he started training every day, and at 16 he joined the army, and when he turned 18 he was promoted and became a commander, and Cleese became famous from the moment he became a commander, and even the rich man who saved him when he saw him could not believe he became such a strong commander, and he offered me to join the army seeing extraordinary power in me, but I refused and continued working in construction, and life forced me and Cleese to live apart because he was in the army, but we set times to meet and spend nights together, me, him and Shalami, and those were the happiest days. Helk continues and tells her about half a month after Cleese left, monsters started to appear in greater numbers. And for the army to fight these monsters, the kingdom imposed recruitment of extra soldiers, and I joined, and so did Idol, in a monster fighting group, and I had to leave the capital and go. And the monster we faced I had never seen before. So she tells him, you probably mean the New World creatures, and those usually appear only in places with high toxins. And he tells her, I did not expect to fight it one day. All I was thinking about at that time was escaping. And she tells him, even the idea of fighting these monsters in our empire is terrifying to us. And he tells her, but I could not run and leave my friends fighting alone. That's why I faced this monster that hit me with a strength I had never seen before, and I was trying to distract it enough so the rest could escape. And then I decided to hit it too, and I kept hitting it and it hitting me, and I had no idea about fighting, and I kept hitting it randomly, and finally I defeated it. And our leader and our captain died, and only we the regular soldiers remained. And Idol went to his city instead of returning to the capital. But after we reached the city, we found large parts of it burning. They enter the city and find a girl fighting the monsters in it. And Helk introduces himself and that he is a soldier sent to help in the city. And she asks him to help them kill these monsters. And Helk kills them all without anyone's help. And the girl is surprised and asks him, how could you get rid of them with one strike? And he tells her, you also killed several of them. So she replies, yes, but that is thanks to my sacred sword I inherited from my family. But you killed multiples of that number with your hands only. And he tells her, I am just an ordinary soldier who worked in construction before. And this girl turns out to be a mercenary and leader of a group of fighters. And she advises Idol to leave this city and take the citizens to a safe place. And she tells Helk, if you agree to help us kill the monsters, this will make a huge difference for us. And Idol and Helk continue their path with the mercenary group. And Helk says to Vermilio, the monsters did not give me a chance to rest. And he tells her everyone was on edge, but still the mercenary group was optimistic with the leadership of a girl named Alicia. And Idol was a source of inspiration for us all. And Alicia asks Helk how his wounds heal so fast. And he replies, I do not know, but I know how to do it well. And she tells him, I never heard anyone say that. And she tells him, I did not imagine I would meet someone stronger than me. And she tells him, but you are better and stronger than me. So Helk tells her, no, I do not even know how to use bows or swords. And she tells him, despite my strength I failed many times to save some people, but you are different and I know you can save anyone, and without you many of my group would have died. Helk continues telling Vermilio, we kept fighting monsters for 4 years and their numbers kept increasing until the kingdom issued a statement that they found the location of the demon lord's castle, and if we killed him we could get rid of the monsters. And Helk says after a while the king of humans summoned a warrior who alone could carry out this mission, and no one had the power to do it but him, and that warrior was Cleese, my brother. And the mercenary group at that time asked Helk, don't you want to go say goodbye to your brother? But he told them, no, I will stay here to keep safety in the area. And he told them, I am sure Cleese has enough strength to defeat the demon lord. And after a while the city got news that Cleese killed the demon lord, and everyone celebrated being rid of the monsters except me, because at that time Cleese was wounded very badly and poison destroyed his body. And at the same time the doctor who helped Cleese when he was little came to Helk and told him he was with Cleese in the battle but could not help him, and asked him to forgive him. But suddenly a swarm of monsters attacked the city, and people accused the warriors of lying that they killed the demon lord. And they asked that Cleese go fight them, and they did not believe he was injured. And at the same time Helk decided to go fight the demon lord because maybe he returned himself to life again after Cleese killed him. Helk moves and reaches a place and thinks this is the demon lord's castle, and enters and finds Azadora and thinks he is the demon lord and attacks him. And Azadora warns him not to get closer because of the trap he made. But Helk gets closer and falls into the trap but gets out of it easily, and attacks Azadora and tells him to surrender because he will not be able to defeat him. And asks him, why do you send monsters to destroy the city? And he replies, a strange question, we did not send anything. The monsters come out from the belly of the earth. But maybe the demon lord Thor is the one who told you that. And Helk asks him, so you are not the demon lord? And he replies, so you are not the one who killed the lord Thor? And Helk tells him, no, the one who killed the lord is my younger brother the hero Cleese. And Azadora tells him, I am one of the 4 lords of the empire, and the castle we are in is just a small part of a big empire, and I am one of the lords who helped rule it. And Helk tells him, so that means you have more authority than the demon lord? And he replies, yes, but do not worry, the demons do not want to fight humans. And Helk tells him, but our kingdom is under a huge attack from monsters now. And Azadora tells him, I can explain to you the reason for the increase of monsters in the human world. And he tells him this is a side effect because of your attack on the castle, and this place was preventing the spread of ruin and monsters. And he tells him humans always considered us a source of evil and threat to them. What brought you here? And Azadora shows him the graves of his friends that humans caused their death. And Helk asks him, did you not hate humans after what they did to your friends? And he replies, of course I was sad, but all those who died knew they were in danger. And Helk tells him, but surely your kingdom has the power to destroy our kingdom. Why did you not do that? And Asadora replies, I will tell you the reasons, but the first is that we have hope one day to restore the friendship between us and humans again. And he says Asadora talked to him about the past when demons lived with humans, but because of the continuous change of rulers suddenly they considered demons a source of evil, and all peace attempts between us failed. And Helk asks him, do you think Thor offered Cleese not to fight and to look for a safe solution? And he replies, surely, because he was the biggest opponent of war. And Helk replies, Cleese was a strong warrior but he did not like fighting, but I do not know what made him not listen to Thor. And Helk tells Asadora, can we achieve peace between us despite what happened? And he replies, of course I agree. And Helk says, I will return to the kingdom and tell them the truth. And Asadora tells him he made a barrier that slows down the monsters coming from the earth for a temporary period, and he tells him when there is a new demon lord the condition of this castle will improve, and that they will hold a tournament soon to choose a new demon lord. And Vermilio tells him, now I understand why Asadora trusted you. And he tells her, after I left the castle I heard someone screaming and I thought maybe Asadora was cheering me. So she tells him no, he was screaming because he fell into one of the traps he made. And Helk tells her, although we did not reach a solution for the monster's problem, I hesitated to tell the people of the kingdom or not, and they might not believe me. When Helk returns to the kingdom he finds it destroyed because of the monster attack, but his friends are safe, and they tell him because of the rich who control the rule now they made us fight until we were about to die, and they withdrew and locked the gates on us. And when the situation got worse, Idol and the commander went to the ruler to ask him to help them in the war. But until now they have not returned, and it is better that you go check on them. And Helk goes down to check on his friends, but on the way he finds 3 people from the demon world tied up and people hitting them. So Helk stands in front of them and tries to convince them they have no fault in what is happening. But the city's commander comes, and at the same time these demons turn into monsters. But the guards come down and kill them. And Helk is surprised by their strength, but the commander tells him they trained for that. And Helk says the next day the kingdom issued a decision that they could create a secret weapon called Awakening, and this gives humans extraordinary power beyond anyone else, and we managed to find a way to make this artificial power stronger. And since then the kingdom declared war against demons. Since then the kingdom attacked large numbers of demons, but we had no problem exterminating them because of the awakened warriors. And the number of victims decreased in the capital and the situation improved in the kingdom. But I did not tell my friends about the conversation that was between me and Asadora, afraid they would not believe me. And his friends offer him to go have dinner with the commander in the restaurant because they do not know when they will be busy again. And one of the warriors who was with Cleese comes and asks Helk for help. And he tells him if we do nothing the kingdom will be destroyed completely. And I mean the awakened warriors. You saw them right. And he tells him most of them had serious crimes and were imprisoned for many years to the point their bodies became very weak. But after undergoing the awakening process they suddenly gained enormous power. And the spell they use not only gives them power but also destroys the mind. And they are no longer humans, they became just slaves. And the kingdom council intends to do this awakening process on all citizens except the nobles. And he tells them they want to turn the kingdom into a new world serving only the rich. And they will execute this awakening plan on more people. And I do not know how, but they want to do it on many people as fast as possible. And they wanted me to participate in it, but I oppose this. And Helk asks him, does the great wizard know about this? And he tells him yes, he is the one who made this plan originally. And he tells Helk, do not trust any of the rich, and we must find a solution to this before all humans undergo this process. And he tells him to make their plan fail we must stop the person who will say the spell, and the king is the one who will say the spell, and it is hard to reach him, but we can reach the other person who will help him, and that is Cleese. And that is because they will use him as a tool to execute their plan. And he tells him, I need a strong person like you to help me, because they tightened the guard on Cleese. And he agrees to help him, and Alicia was hearing their talk and tells them I will help you too, and Idol tells him I will help you too. And they enter the castle to rescue Cleese. And they face the awakened warriors and manage to defeat them. And on the way to Cleese, Helk stops and tells them we are not going to fight demons. And I met one of them and talked to him, and he told me the monsters that attacked the kingdom are not their doing. And he told me he wants peace between humans and demons. But Alicia tells him surely he tricked you with words because you are kind and he feared your strength. And as soon as they enter the place where Cleese is, they meet the great wizard Mikaros. And he tells Helk, I knew you did not like my plan from the beginning. And Helk begs Mikaros not to execute his plan, but someone opposes them and tells him, how can someone like you reject a plan like this? And this plan will make us stronger than anyone and will make everyone submit to us. and suddenly the king casts a spell on them and tells them anyone who opposes the plan will die. But Hulk can stop the spell with his power. But the king orders Cleese to kill them after making him submit and be under his control. And Hulk asks Mikaros, why did you do this? And he tells him, when I came to treat Cleese I knew he had extraordinary power, and he tells him now I plan to use Cleese to execute my plan. But Mikaros exploits that Cleese is Hulk's younger brother and that will stop Hulk from attacking him, and Alicia attacks him with her sword, and Mikaros is shocked when he knows she has the hero killer's sword, and he attacks her and takes her sword. Mikaros wounds Hulk in his shoulder with the sword, and asks Hulk to surrender and join them, and Hulk replies to him and says, is turning the people of the land into mindless ones what is supposed to happen? And Hulk moves to attack him, but Mikaros disappears from in front of him with his speed. And suddenly Cleese returns to his senses and attacks Mikaros before he kills Hulk. And the human king orders Cleese to get rid of Hulk, but Cleese strikes the king as well, and he repeats the same order again, and Cleese takes the sword and goes toward Hulk to kill him, but suddenly he raises the sword and kills himself instead of Hulk. Hulk gets furious and has extraordinary power to the extent that none of the soldiers can attack him, but Alicia approaches him and apologizes that her sword is the reason for all this, and he tells her, no, I was the one who could not save him. And Hulk loses consciousness, and he remembers his memories with his brother when they were children, and he always defended him, and that he could not save him while he was in front of him, and he killed himself. Hulk wakes up and finds himself injured with many wounds and remembers the sight of Cleese dead, but he does not find any of his friends who were with him, and he finds only Alicia's sword next to his clothes. And he goes outside to look for them and finds two who want to kill him, and they tell him whoever kills him will get a lot of money and that his friends fought with all their strength so that you escape. And suddenly Hulk remembers indeed that they fought so he could escape, but he could not move his body, and he blames himself that he was affected by the strike in his shoulder and fell to the ground and left his friends to fight alone without helping them, and that is despite that he has the power to defeat any monster, and when the moment came to use his power he could not protect anyone he loves. And one of those who want to kill him approaches and tells him, I will kill you quickly so you do not be sad and be like the rest of your friends. And Hulk gets up and asks him, what do your words mean? Are my friends still alive? And he tells him yes, and they were sentenced to execution before all people, but they are now still in prison. So Hulk becomes optimistic that it is not too late and he can save his friends, and Hulk moves and resolves that he will not surrender despite all the wounds in his body. All the citizens attack Hulk to kill him and take the reward, but Hulk eliminates them all easily and his wounds start bleeding again, and at the same time Hulk remembers his days with his friends and decides that he will not surrender, and suddenly he finds a large number of soldiers coming toward him, but Hulk runs toward them and starts striking them with force, and one of the soldiers strikes him with the sword at the place of the wounds, but Hulk eliminates all the soldiers, and their commander is still not dead and tells Hulk, I did not imagine you are this very strong, and he tells him next time I will be able to defeat you, and kills himself. And on the other side a rich man goes to Alicia and tells her if she begs not to die they will pardon her, but on condition she works as his slave for the rest of her life. He takes Alicia to execute the death sentence before all the citizens, but the citizens want her to die in a more painful way, and the rich man asks her, what do you feel when all the people you risked your life to protect hate you like this? And the soldier asks him, do we change the way of her execution? But the man tells him, no, kill her and that is all, and you can change the way of execution with one of her friends. And Alicia tells him, torture me but do not do anything to them, and the soldier who is executing the sentence brings the knife down to the ground and does not kill her, and tells the rich man, it is better that we do not kill her so we do not suffer great harm, I feel that. And the rich man orders him to execute the sentence, but the soldier refuses and tells him his body is trembling and he cannot kill her. And suddenly Hulk appears and attacks the rich man and tells him, how dare you do this to her? And he replies, not me, the people are the ones who threw stones at her. And he begs Hulk not to kill him, but Hulk eliminates him and saves Alicia, and Hulk apologizes to her and tells her, let's escape from here and go to a far place, let's go to the demon world, and we will free the rest of our friends and go there. And Alicia agrees and tells him, I will go with you anywhere you want. And the city commander comes and tells him, do you intend to enter and rescue the rest of your friends? The castle inside has a very large number of awakened soldiers. Hulk replies to him, I will eliminate any creature that comes in my way even if it is you, and he tells him, it seems I underestimated your strength. I thought you had already lost hope, and this girl would have been dead if not for your strong will to protect your friends. And he tells him, your great determination to return and rescue them turned against you and will put you into many problems, and you should not have returned here again. And he tells him the awakening process has begun, and everything you did today did not spoil any part of our plan, and you executed Mikaros's plan just as he wanted, and humans begin turning into strange creatures. And he tells him that everyone has a buried power inside, the power of the heroes, and many people spend their whole lives without using this power. But in rare cases like you and your brother this power appears naturally. But when you make an ordinary person use it by force, then he is no longer like you and he loses any feeling in his muscles swell greatly greatly and they have no personality at all, and there are small ice orbs falling from the sky, and he tells him that once it touches the body of an ordinary human the spell starts working and the awakening process is executed on him, and Alicia is affected by it after it touches her body. He tells him it is impossible to avoid the ice no matter where you go, and this ice will cover the whole kingdom soon, and this will affect the poor and the rich and all people, and all of them will become just a weapon executing only the king's orders, and he asks Hulk to leave this place and go, otherwise all he will do is keep fighting his friends after they turn. But Hulk does not surrender and takes Alicia and runs and tries to look for a place without ice, and Alicia asks him to leave her and escape because she does not want him to see what will happen to her, and Alicia asks Hulk to use her sword to kill her, but Hulk refuses and tells her I cannot do that, and she tells him I do not want to undergo the awakening process. I want to die, and she tells him they all become the same shape after the awakening process and that means you will not recognize me, and he replies we spent years together. I will be able to distinguish you no matter what you look like, and he tells her I will not give up and I will eliminate all these monsters whether the king or anyone else, and she asks him to always smile and she will try to resist to the end, and she tells him even if the day comes and I meet you as an enemy and I try to kill you smile as well. The city commander asks him why did you not kill her even though she asked you to do that, and tells him that every time you try to resist what is happening the situation will become worse, and Hulk says that he will end this process in any way and I must stop this snow. But suddenly Zero comes, one of his friends, and has been subjected to the awakening process, and he asks Hulk to surrender and tells him that once we have high compatibility with awakening we become like you and without losing our minds or our bodies, and because of that I lived the hardest days and saw my friends in front of me asking for my help and I could not do anything for them, and Hulk asks him so you escaped from the process and this change, but Zero attacks him and tells him and why would I escape from this? Do you not see how light my body became in fighting as if I was fighting before while tied? And Formilio tells him that the power made him a different person but with the same memories, and she says and in the end the awakening process was completed despite the continued snowfall and there is no longer any ordinary human, and she asks Zero why did you not free them from the king's control, and even if a million tried to stop you you could have defeated him and freed them. He tells her that is what I tried with the king but killing the king would not have solved the problem, and he tells her if the king died they would stay the same and would spend the rest of their lives just monsters, and Zero tells Hulk that killing the king will not change anything, but Hulk does not believe his words and tells him I will kill him anyway, and Mikaros tells him his words are true, if you killed the king that will not change anything, and Hulk is surprised that Mikaros is still alive and did not die, and Mikaros tells Hulk I have never seen anyone with your power before, and Hulk attacks him but he manages to escape from him with his speed, and Mikaros points to a place where Cleese his brother is, and he tells him that he can use his body even after he died even if only his head remains. And he tells him I executed my plan also even though he died. But Mikaros can get rid of Hulk through a gate he made with a spell, and he tells Formilio and in this way I came to the demon world and could not save my friends, and Formilio tells him surely that was a bad experience for you, and he tells her but I will continue until I eliminate all humans. She asks Formilio are you sure you will be able to fight them especially that they are your friends, and she tells him you do not need to fight them now, they are targeting us and I will get rid of them for you, and he tells her after I moved to the demon world Kinros met me and saved me and took me to his house, and even after the citizens knew that I killed the demon king they did not care and treated me kindly, and I was happy not just because they treated me kindly but because I confirmed that all the people in the demon world are good, and he tells her humans are much more dangerous than you imagine, and that is not only because they did the awakening process but also they made a spell to make them return to life after death, and he tells her because of that I must eliminate them and I have the power that allows me to get rid of them, and that is because when I get angry I lose control of myself and that can make me hurt you as well, and he tells her because of that I want to give you the hero's sword, you are the only person I can rely on now, and he tells her if I get angry and cannot control myself someday use this sword and kill me, and Formilio tells Hulk I want to confess to you a confession, I am one of the four lords and because of that I will accept your request, and after that they move and ride the train to get closer to the Empire, and they meet a monster on their way but Formilio defeats it, and Formilio tells Hulk to take care of Baiwi and she will attack the monsters. And she tells him we must reach any city before the night comes. And on their way they meet an old man who tells them I am the chief of the city. You will reach soon, but if you are afraid for yourselves do not go there. And he tells them there is a big monster in the city there that burns anything in front of it and soon all the people there will die. And he tells them many warriors tried to get rid of it but no one could and they all died, so it is better you go away from here. And Formilio tells him but we killed this monster a while ago. And the old man does not believe her and thinks she says that just to reassure him, but the soldiers come to the chief and confirm to him that the monster is already dead, and the city celebrates the death of the monster and hosts Hulk and Formilio, And while they are sitting and eating, a girl named Harpy comes from the search team that Azadora sent, and she meets Formilio and introduces herself and is very happy that she found Formilio. And she has a message from Azadora to Formilio telling her to head to the human world if Helk is still with her. And on the other side, Azadora tells Han that the plan is that Helk and Formilio kill the human king. At the same time, the winged knights attack the demon warriors, and Kinro suggests peace to them instead of war, but the knights cannot defeat them like every time, and Haora kills Edel, their leader, as usual, but before he dies he tells her that next time he will kill her. And on the other side, Han tells Azadora, but we are not sure we will find Formilio, and he replies to him, Azadora, this is the first plan, surely I have another plan. And he says, but in our current conditions and we are fighting knights who do not die, the best solution is the first plan. And Han says, but are 2 persons not too few? And Han says, and in the case if the search team did not find them, what will we do? And Azadora replies, there are alternatives I prepared for them, they will execute the mission if they do not find them. And Azadora tells them that the goal of this plan is to deceive the winged knights that he cannot resist their attack. And at that time their defense will be weak and they will think, we are in trouble, and this will make the first plan have a high success rate. And Han tells him, but we defeated them in all the battles so far. And he replies to him, this matter does not reassure me and I feel that there is something wrong from the beginning. And Han tells him, you surely know the level of strength of the demon lord of Orem Castle, how could they defeat him easily? And surely there is another human like Helk who has the same power that could cause us problems like this. And I think the best thing is that we do not take any step now. And he says we will wait for any new information from Asta. And on the other side, Asta the spy is proud that she has been all this time in the human world and no one was able to expose her. And at the same time she gathers a lot of information about the winged knights. And Asta hides when she feels someone coming behind her. And it is Edel and his friends walking in the castle, and Zero tells him that now is the time of the second plan. And they will send you to the demon lord's castle. But suddenly they stop and one of them tells them, do you not feel that someone is spying on us? But one of them replies to him and says, impossible, our security level is very high. And one of them decides to execute his spell in all the narrow openings in the place where Asta is hiding in one of them. But she finds herself falling into a place where Cleese is. And she finds holes and jumps quickly before the winged knights discover her presence. And she finds herself in an underground tunnel and walks in it and feels air from the wall beside her. And as soon as she touches it, it opens and it turns out to be a secret door. As soon as it opens, she finds a library with many books. And she discovers that this is a secret room and she leaves it but cannot enter it again. And she tries to escape from the winged knights. And she starts climbing the castle walls and looking for a place to hide until she finds an open window and enters through it. And as soon as she enters, she finds Shalami in the room and asks her, what are you doing here in my room? And Asta tells her that she is just a merchant and got lost and was looking for a place to hide because she is afraid of the winged knights. And Shalami asks her, you are from which country? I do not know any country except the kingdom. And Asta is surprised that she did not discover she is from the demon world. And Asta tells her that she must leave. But Shalami asks her to stay and talk to her a little because she has been locked up here for a long time and has not talked to anyone. And one of the winged knights comes bringing food to Shalami and she asks Asta to stay and eat with her and she will ask them for extra food. But Asta refuses and tells her no one should see me, and Asta hides under the bed until the winged knights leave the room. And Asta is still surprised that Shalami has not told the knights about her presence until now. And Shalami introduces herself and asks her, what would you like to drink? And she asks her for hot coffee. And when she drinks coffee she can communicate with her twin sister in the castle and knows that she is sitting with someone from their enemies. And Asta the spy tells her sister that this is a strange person different from all those we met and she was locked in a room in the castle and maybe I took some information from her. On the other side, Vermilio bids farewell to the remaining 2 from the search team and tells them to inform Azudra that she is fine. Helk and Vermilio set off to continue their path. At the same time the winged knights attack Shin Castle, but the castle's lord knows of their attack and has made a barrier that prevents anyone from passing, and all the demon soldiers attack them with arrows. The castle's lord tells them, you will not be able to attack us and I know you are strong, but all the soldiers present are very well trained and the possibility that you defeat us is impossible. Commander Zero tells him, we may not have enough power to defeat you now, but victory in war does not depend on power alone. And one of the soldiers informs the demon lord that a swarm of monsters is attacking them from the south in large numbers, and tells him another swarm of monsters is attacking them from the northwest. And Zero tells him we can use magic and control the monsters. But the demon lord tells him that is impossible. Humans cannot use high-level incantations. And Zero remembers when he and Mikaros with Cleese were fighting the demon lord Thor, and Mikaros used forbidden magic to make an incantation, and the winged knights decide to exploit the demon soldiers being busy with the monsters' attack and attack them. But suddenly they find a big attack coming from behind them, and then Azudra has arrived with extra soldiers to help the castle's lord. But Zero tells them, your decision to come here was wrong, and now you will find Thor Castle being destroyed. On the other side, Mikaros attacks Thor Castle and no one can stop him. Not even any of the strongest warriors can do anything, and he kills them them, and Dorsch tries to attack him but fails, and Idol helps Mikaros and eliminates the rest. Hyura attacks Mikaros and tries to kill him, but he attacks her with full power and strikes her repeatedly until she falls to the ground and her energy is exhausted, and when Idol learns from the soldiers that Hyura is present he goes quickly to finish her, and Mikaros lets Idol finish off Hyura, and he goes to the room holding the magic stone to create a transfer gate. But as soon as he enters the room the door closes and a barrier of roots appears made by Azudra, and at the same time this was a trick by Azudra to the winged knights in Shin Castle where one of the warriors was disguised as him, but he himself was in Thor Castle waiting to finish Mikaros. And Mikaros is surprised as soon as he sees Azudra, and Mikaros tells him I killed the demon lords even though they insisted on a peaceful solution until the last moment but I killed them, and Azudra attacks him and causes heavy wounds to Mikaros, and tells him do not worry, I will not kill you, I will imprison you in a special cell because I still want to interrogate you first, and Mikaros tells him you were more frightening in the past and everyone used to tremble with fear of you. And he tells him you will not remember me because I was just an ordinary soldier among millions of soldiers, but I remember you well because the first time I saw you my body trembled with fear and I could barely breathe. And then I hid among my friends' corpses until you left so I would not die like them, and many others like me lived. But their bodies were polluted by the demon world's poison and died. But I adapted to the poison and used that to have great power that made me live until now. And he tells him I am attacking you now to destroy this world and make a new world of my own. And Azudra tells him it seems I was wrong when I said I would imprison you, you must die. At the same time Idol attacks Hyura to kill her, but Hyura tells him do not think because I am injured that you will be able to defeat me, that is impossible, and he attacks her again with strong consecutive strikes, and tells her I will keep facing you until I finish you, and tells her I am not concerned about losing to you, but I have no problem continuing to face you always, I enjoy that, and he stops the fight between them and Hyura asks him why do you do this as long as you do not want to kill me, and he replies because these are the king's orders and I must execute them. On the other side Asta the spy talks with Shalami and tells her that the reason I came here is to meet the king, and Shalami replies they prevented me from talking about the king with the citizens, but she tells her I can tell you normally, and tells her if you want to meet the king I will tell you his place but on condition you take me with you. And tells her I want to see Helk and Cleese and all the people so help me escape. And Asta helps her and takes her with her and thinks about her words that she surely has a connection to Cleese and Helk. And Shalami tells her I can no longer be imprisoned especially after I talked with you, I want to see people and sit with them. And Asta tells her she can let her meet Helk. And they escape together and she tells her about her childhood with Helk and Cleese. And shows her that she has a special ability but does not know what it does. And tells her I do not know the way in the castle here, let's return to the room instead. And suddenly while they are on their way to escape they enter the place where the human king is, and the king tries to attack Asta with a knife but she avoids it, and Asta grabs the knife to attack the king but the city commander blocks her with his sword, and the winged knights attack her and seize her, and the city commander tells her killing the king will stop the army's advance but will cause more terrible results. On the other side Azudra attacks Mikaros, but Mikaros tells him you will not defeat me even if you kill me, and tells him that taking the winged knights as captives was a big mistake by you, because after the king's magic disappears from them they turn into strong monsters. And Azudra tells him there is no problem, I will eliminate the two with you. And Mikaros replies but I hid the magic from every soldier who came with me to attack Thor Castle, meaning about 20,000 soldiers, and you will not be able to defeat them, not even your army. And Azudra orders Han that everyone withdraw and return to Orem Castle, and Idol saves Hyura from the monsters and takes her to a safe place, and she asks him why you alone were not affected like them, and he replies maybe because I adapted to awakening, and she asks him to take her to another place so she can help Azudra. But suddenly Mikaros attacks them, and tells him I knew you freed yourself from the king's incantation, and he attacks Idol and tries to get rid of him but Hyura helps him, and Idol tells her run quickly, this war will not continue, surely Helk will stop it soon, and Idol disappears after he turns into a mindless monster because of Mikaros. And he attacks Azudra with force and strikes him with a strong sword blow. And Mikaros says to himself then only Helk remains and I will finish him soon. On the other side Formilio tells Helk and Harpy that one of the villagers told her that the road they are walking on is broken and they must change the way because the bridge is destroyed, and Harpy offers to help them in anything or watch the place while they sleep. But Helk tells her to sleep better as she is already helping by delivering the messages. And Formilio tells her that they are entering an area full of monsters and wants her to explore the place in the morning and better sleep now. And she tells Helk to sleep too because he looks tired, but he says no, I do not need sleep, you can sleep. But she says I do not need to, so he offers that they drink coffee together. And Formilio remembers the message from Asdora that if Helk is with her she should go to the human world instead of the Empire. She tells Helk that Harpy told her the Empire built a military base near the border of the human world and they must continue without stopping even for food. and they will arrive within 2 or 3 days and be near the human kingdom. And Helk replies that we have traveled for a long time and time passed very fast, and I feel like we were on the island yesterday. It was a nice trip. And he says he feels like he is saying words not fit for now, but she replies, no, it is okay, I also have not left the kingdom for long and enjoyed this trip. And she tells him that when Asdora knows everything about the human kingdom, I think he will change the plan and the main reliance in war will be on us. And surely he is sure we have enough power to defeat the human king. But killing the king will not stop the war, on the contrary, then a new war will begin, and it will be necessary then to defeat all the humans there. But Helk tells her, do not worry, I will defeat them even if they are millions. And she replies, I asked you before not to carry more than you can. And she tells him, maybe you do not know, but my power is like yours in eliminating a large group of people. And she tells him, you can leave the winged knights to me, and I think Asdora is also doing that now, and you just need to get rid of Mikaros and the king. And she tells him, I know it will be a hard battle for you, but do not lose. And at the same time, the military base is attacked by the winged knights, and Helk and Formilio on their way to the base meet one from the search team, and she tells them to run away. The winged knights attacked the base and destroyed it, and she says she does not think they came to destroy our base. Their huge numbers suggest they were going to destroy a kingdom or something like that. But Harpy tells Formilio, maybe they knew you are here and want to kill you. But Formilio knows that they came out with all the numbers to kill Helk, not to get rid of her. And Formilio tells them this war will be dangerous and orders Harpy and Baiwi to stay where they are. On the other side, Mikaros tells Rafahid, the city leader, that Helk's power is very dangerous and even more dangerous than Asdora, to the point that when Helk attacked him in Orem Castle he did not know how many times he killed him, and he confirmed one thing that day, that if we deal with Helk he will be much more dangerous than Asdora. And I intended to show myself to him that day to take anything from his body to track him later, and that is by a spell that lets you know the place of the person if you have something of his. And Formilio and Helk arrive at the military base and meet Rafahid, and he tells Helk, I came here to end you because you are the only obstacle in our plan, and you know you have a mighty power inside you, and my goal is to pull that power out of you and force you to withdraw from the war. But you have a chance to withdraw of your own will, and then I will not harm you. He tells him, take your new friends and find a far place from the war to live in. And Helk replies, I told you before that the people of the demon world saved me, and this is no longer my war alone. And if you insist on attacking the demon world, then I will continue what I am doing and destroy all humans. And Rafahid replies, if you want to continue what you are doing, fine, I will not stop you, but remember I told you that you will not endure fighting your friends. And Rafahid orders the winged knights to attack Helk and Formilio and Helk block the strikes of the winged knights, and suddenly Rafahid attacks with his sword on Formilio, but she blocks it easily, and she tells Helk, do not worry about me, I will not die from a strike like that, you saw me block much stronger ones. And Rafahid says, it is clear he takes moral support from you, so if I kill you I can finish him. And she replies, you will not defeat me, and even if you kill me Helk will continue and destroy you all. The winged knights attack Formilio, convinced that if they finish her they will defeat Helk, and Rafahid seeks help from one of his strongest warriors to finish Helk. And at the same time Rafahid attacks Formilio again with the help of the other winged knights. And he tells her that Helk was not like this, and you are the one who made him fight with such power, and despite all his strength he never loved fighting. And Helk approaches the warrior who is striking him, and she attacks him with her broken sword, but he grabs her hands. And Helk realizes this is Elisha and removes the mask on her face, and she cries when she sees him, and Helk promises her that he will end all this. And Formilio moves quickly to help Helk, and Rafahid tries to stop her, and he tells her Helk will soon turn into a monster. And Formilio charges at Rafahid and takes out the hero killer sword that Helk gave her and strikes him with it. And Formilio stops Helk quickly before he finishes his friend and tells him, we must save these humans, they are your friends. And she tells him maybe the situation now is not the best, but you could talk with Edel and Elisha, meaning they did not die and are still alive, so there is hope. And you saw yourself that the world has many bad things like what happened to your friends, so we must look for a way to save them. And she tells him, you are not alone, I am with you and will help you. And Formilio thinks and decides that she will save the humans, and says to herself that she told Helk he will live with them in the Empire after all this ends, but surely he will be happier if he saves his friends. And she says, maybe my decision is wrong, but Helk became my friend and I cannot abandon him. And Rafahid tells her, stop deceiving him with words. And she replies, stop acting like you know everything, because there is no proof they cannot return to humans again normally. And nothing is impossible, surely there is a solution. And he replies, our forces seized the demon Lord Castle, and Asdora died, and we have an army of soldiers who do not die, and we will not stop our attacks on your empire, and the longer the war lasts the more death and destruction will increase, so can you endure that and save humans at the same time? And she tells him, you are saying things that did not happen because it is hard for you to beat Asdora, and I have heard this talk many times before. And she says, I was told before that he died, but it was a lie, and his heart stopped then returned to life normally, and every time someone tells me he died he turns out alive, and I will not believe he is dead unless I see with my eyes. And Formilio tells Helk, we must go talk with Asdora, surely he has a way to save humans. And Hulk is surprised by her words because he is convinced by Raphael and believes Asdora is dead. But Formilio tells him he is surely alive and did not die, I feel it. And on the other side Asdora is indeed alive and the citizens are happy he lives. And Formilio tells Raphael she will save humans even if Hulk begged her to turn back she will not. And Hulk moves to attack Raphael but leaves him and goes away. And Formilio apologizes to Hulk that she stopped him from killing them after they came to fight them, and he tells her I surely want to save them, all my friends are humans. Formilio gathers the search team that was with her and distributes to them missions to inform the other warriors that they will free the Thor castle. And Asdora wakes and Han tells him that updates came from the search, and Asta tells him that according to what she said they found Formilio and she is fine and your expectations were right. Hulk was traveling with her and nothing bad happened to them, and now they are on their way to the human castle. And she tells him that humans discovered the place of the military base and destroyed it, and she gives him a message Formilio sent him saying that she wants to save humans. And Asdora's assistant reaches Hulk and Formilio and informs them that humans attacked Shin Castle but Asdora succeeded in defeating them, and Formilio tells her I heard that Asdora died, and she replies no, alive but with many wounds. And Formilio becomes happy when she hears this and they continue their way to Shin Castle.